Stand by. Switching from human mode to dad mode. Initializing sequence. In 3, 2, 1. This is Dad Mode, the podcast where we navigate the chaotic realms of parenting, gaming, content creation, work, and hell, just life in general. We're diving into the challenges of raising kids in the digital age, from social media madness to navigating the gaming landscape. We're talking about it all, especially from a dad's perspective. Whether it's conquering the latest game, creating content that's more than just a hobby, or just trying to keep up with the ever-changing tech landscape, we're right there with you. We want to help you navigate this wild journey of parenthood and modern life, from balancing family time to managing your career and still squeezing in some gaming and content creation. It's all about fun, some dad wisdom, and a whole lot of dad mode. Now your hosts, Bearded Nova and more.
Wait, is it already started?
No.
You know, we've been recording for 30 minutes now. We edit it all. Don't worry, it gets all edited.
Okay, a little bit about myself.
What's that, Bearded?
I was going to say, yeah, grab it, then you just use it for the intro.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I didn't prepare anything this time. I felt like every time I meet with you, I always prepare stuff, right? And I think I should be comfortable talking to you.
Man with fireworks up his ass. Throwing fireworks at people's asses.
I like throwing fireworks, but I feel like I just need to be able to, I don't know, just be comfortable and have just more natural conversations with folks. So a little bit about me. I'm 43. I've been married for, I don't know, 13, 14. It's a long time now. I have 2 kids. Please, hopefully my wife doesn't see this. And I work from home primarily. So whenever the kids are on vacation, it's me and the kids. My wife doesn't give me credit for it, right?
No.
But
she pushed those children.
I clean the house.
Those children out, mate. You don't get any credit now, no matter what you do.
She pushed them out, but I'm taking care of them. I'm just saying it's not that easy at this point. And, you know, and I've been doing content for the last 2.5, 3 years. But prior to this, I was, you know, making YouTube videos, unboxings. I had a show where we talked about current events and things like that. So I've always been in the content space doing fun things, right? I used to draw a lot, and being creative in this space allows me to feel like I'm drawing stuff again, editing video, making stuff, speaking to people, writing stuff up, all that stuff helps me feel just better about myself. It's a release for me. So that's a little bit about me.
Well, I'm so glad you're able to join us. I completely feel you on the creative stuff. It is not at all what I do in my job, and it's a welcome outlet to be able to do anything creative, you know, because the job is the job. It's not creative at all. But back to your not getting credit, like when you're watching your kids, I would tell my wife, "Oh, I'm babysitting today," and then I get like the laser beams from the eyes, and she's like, "No, you're the dad." I'm like, "But am I watching them?" Yeah, then I'm babysitting. Apparently, she doesn't like that.
2 different things.
You can't babysit your own kids.
No. I get the credit for all the bad things they do as well. Well, never the good, just anything bad they do. I gave them that apparently.
Oh, you know what? I can see that. No offense.
Yeah.
I think it's the fair balance, but I don't think that my wife, we've been fortunate enough every time there's the kids are out on Christmas break, summer break, any type of vacation, I'm always available in here with them. And it is a up and down type of thing as they get older to try to keep them entertained, fed, and keep the house in order. And I'm not saying like I need you to come and kiss my feet, but I'm just saying like, hey, give dads a little credit out here in these streets. Like we are participating a lot in our kids' lives, like we should be, but some credit would be nice.
My wife the other night actually said, you know, you're hard on the kids for some things. She goes, but then there's other things they do and you just don't care. I'm like, oh, really? Like,
Right.
I thought I was always labeled the person that's hard on everyone, but apparently there's a lot of things that I just let slide that she looks at me going, really? You're going to let that go?
Yeah, I'm the apparently fun parent in my. Even though I yell a lot, I'm still the fun parent because I like the movies they like. I like playing video games. I bring them to Comic-Con and stuff like. I let them get fast food. No, actually, this isn't being. She didn't hear that.
That's
I do a lot of fun things, and she just and I actually think she doesn't get enough credit because she makes sure that all of the homework is done all the time. She makes sure the doctor's appointments are scheduled and all this stuff, and like I don't feel like she gets enough credit for that. And she might be standing there, and that's why I'm saying all these good. No, I'm kidding. No, but I don't think she gets enough credit for like doing that stuff, that dirty work. I just have fun with them.
You're ranked at number 8 out of 10 at the moment, ain't you? Your wife's like a 5 or something. You were telling me.
I am. Yeah, she was ranked a 5. Yep. And then they did last week. They did a rank like who do they like best in the house? Me, my wife, the dog, or their brother.
Oh no!
And the dog was unanimous number 1. I came a solid number 2. Wife was usually last.
Oh no!
Yeah. So you know what? It's funny. Like they're laughing. I'm like, I got to deal with this when you guys go to bed. I got to sit and listen to her be all upset about it.
I find that it's very similar. I'm ranked really high in my house, and I'd be the person that like care the least, right? My wife pushed him out. She's all lovey-dovey. She's sweet. And I'm the person that's like, give me a high five and keep on moving. But my kids want hugs from me. They want kisses from me. And I'm like, I'm the wrong parent for this type of stuff, but I'm the one that they want this additional love from. And I feel like it has a lot to do with like my past and whatever spiritual stuff that God blessed them with comes out, and they give me so much life and energy. It's because I lost a lot of my family. I didn't have family, and then my wife has such a big family. And my wife is very sweet, and I think she 100% should get all the love and support from the kids. But for some reason, they're just that much more caring and nice to me, and they look for me, and they always want to be around me, and they give me that family support that I kind of lost, right? So something connects them to me, and I'm ranked really high in the house, right? Dad is, and I'm serious. I laid the law down, and but I'm the one that they, want to spend time with, do fun things with, and I think it's a little messed up sometimes. But I'm saying dads are winning out here in these streets.
They are. I will never like. I love the fact that I'm in this position right now where I'm the parent that they like a lot. Like
because you went to Comic-Con
forever. I know that. I know, right?
You paid for it. You paid for this love.
I know. God, it was expensive. So I'm going to eat this up as long as it lasts, because there will come a time in like 6 months where like Dad sucks. I know that will happen.
That's what I'm doing here with this one. So I keep telling my wife, I'm like, I'm liking this at the moment. It's at the age where I'm the favorite. I'm number 1 in this house. I'm gonna lap it up until she gets a bit older, and I know that will change at this stage.
Yep. So, Wes, let me ask you this. So, I grew up without a father figure in my life, so like I'm making this shit up as I go along,
Yep.
And you're talking about losing some of your family. Do you find that do you overcompensate for how you were raised with your kids, or are you kind of consistent, or?
I think there's a compensation there, right? So I don't know what a good male role model looks like, so I'm just kind of winging it. And I've thought about this a lot, and I feel like, you know what? I'm just a big ass kid with some experience, right? And I'm gonna do my best to pass on that experience to them, be there for them, do the things that I didn't get as a kid. And yeah, sometimes that leads to me spoiling them, but that also means I'm at every single game. I'm at every single parent-teacher conference. I'm at every single play or presentation that they have. I'm always there. They don't know what it's like to not have a dad. Last night, we all... Yeah, the good and the bad. I was there to snuggle with them and watch movies and all that other stuff. So I don't know if if it's just because I didn't have a parent, it's just because I or a dad. I feel like I'm just trying to figure things out, and so I make a lot of
Yeah.
mistakes, and I'm okay messing up with them. I'm like, I'm still here. We're still we're
Yeah.
gonna do better the next day. So
Yep. I really agree with that. Like, I think when you're younger and you look at your parents as dinosaurs
Mhm.
roaming the earth, and who are
Yeah.
always that age, never younger, and like
Yeah.
I feel like you, I feel like I still. When my wife says I still act like I'm 16, but I'm just a big kid
Yeah.
who likes all the
Same.
same shit that my kids do.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
like when I say I'm babysitting, it's because sometimes I just hang out with my kids, and like
It's
I don't
fun.
Mhm.
feel like the parent in all of those
Yeah. Yeah.
circumstances. We're just my older son and I, he's 12. We're just talking about, hey, what do you like what's in your favorite Star Wars movie? Like, what do you like about Star? Like, we're just talking about stuff, you know. It's not like thou shalt grow up and go to a good college and do all this other stuff. No, we're just hanging out.
Right.
I find, like we were saying, I overcompensate, and I do that. Like we go to the grocery store in the afternoon or something with my daughter after picking up from school, because the older one
Mhm.
catches the bus, and we'll get stuff for dinner, and then we're at the checkout, and then you see the little chocolates there. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. Like my wife knows nearly every time I take a child out, I'm just buying like, you know, $1 chocolate.
Yeah.
You know, we'll both have
Yep.
this, or as a family, we go out and we're going past the 7-Eleven. Well, that means I'm stopping there. We're all getting Slurpees. Like that's,
Mhm.
you know, just little things like that I do. And at the same time, it comes back to homework and like education. I never had
Yeah.
anyone driving me for my education or saying, hey, you need to
Yeah.
do this. Make sure you're doing your homework, pushing to get, you know, to give them the best future, the ability to have the best future that they can have. I overcompensate there too. Like I never had anyone doing that. And I never had anyone coming on my parent teacher interviews, checking in to see how my grades were, or
Mhm.
getting my grades and going, well, you know, you could do better than this. You know, it was kind of just, I was left in the wind to do what I wanted.
Yeah. So last week, I think it was last week, we talked to Daniel, and he was talking about his kids and, you know, that relationship he has with them and
Mhm.
homework, and when it comes to like permissions and things like that. What's your stance on, like, you know, making sure your kids do stuff, or like, do you check how strict are you with grades and things like that?
I was afraid of this one. All right, so I'm on homework duty right now. We switched our kids to a new school, so we used to have a sitter that would help us. The kids were closer to my other job. I would, you know, go into the office,
Yeah.
pick the kids up. The sitter would help with the homework. And now the kids are 3 blocks away from where I actually live, right? So now I pick them up, and I'm responsible for the homework Monday through like Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
And my daughter's homework hasn't been great, right? So while my wife is correcting her, she's yelling at me at the same time. I care about grades and getting the homework done, but I look at it and be like, is the concept there? Yeah, we're good. My wife is like, well, number 2 is wrong. Number 17 isn't. Oh, come on, man. She got like 30 other right. So I do care, but I kind of look at, is the concept of what she's doing, is it correct? And I've been getting more strict and more serious, but I don't know how to do things in the middle. I'm either not involved, or basically like cruising, or 100% fully invested, and it's going to get really tough and shitty for everybody until everything is perfect.
Yeah.
And so like I'm trying to figure out that middle place with the kids and their homework. And so right now I'm struggling. You caught me in a struggle phase where I get yelled at least once a week over homework.
But it's one of those ones that you constantly, you know, when they need the homework and when they don't need homework. Like you see the grades coming in, hey, the grades are right, the grades not all right. That's where I look at the homework side of things. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Grades slipping. That means we're not understanding the work. So that means we got to focus on this homework stuff and make sure we understand what's coming through.
My wife goes, again, I'm hoping she's not listening to this episode. She goes a bit hard on it. Like, we have, they have an app that the teachers upload all the grades in daily, every other day. She gets an alert of every single grade, every single homework I turned in or not turned in, you know, all this stuff. And every single one of them, she's going to ask my son about. And I'm like, you need to, respectfully, you need to back off a little bit, because you're overwhelming the kid. Like he's like, I can't like do anything wrong without getting yelled at. And my thing is like, is the effort there? Are you at least trying to do your work? I don't really care if you're getting an A+ on every single thing you turn in. That's not going to happen usually, right? I want to know, are you doing the work, and are you getting at least decent grades so I know you're comprehending what you're studying, you know?
Yeah.
But like my son last year was slipping on homework. He just can't, every test A, homework assignments F's because he wasn't turning them in.
Yeah.
He's just, I didn't feel like doing it. I'm like, you don't get an option. You know, you don't get an option to not do that. So
technology
it's
doesn't allow them to get away with it either anymore.
No.
Like I am constantly spammed with like the school apps or emails from the teacher going, hey, like I got one this week about my son's history thing going, hey, we've been on him, but I'm starting to notice like his attention slide and he's not doing it in, like the draft's not up to scratch. Like if he doesn't pull his head in, he's gonna, you know, fail this exam. For the teachers to do that, for me, that means I had to pick up a phone, go to the office, pick up a phone, call my mum, hopefully get my mum at home, and to report, or write a letter and then send it in the post. Like this technology doesn't allow them to slip up anymore. Like, like you think about it, like it was effort before. Nowadays, it's not. They can do it. The teacher can do a Zoom call. They can message you on the fly about individual things via email or whatever. I feel sorry for the kids in a way.
So Wes, when you were growing up, no worry, we're not going to tell anybody. I'm sure you kind of got away with some stuff that your kids couldn't, when it comes to school and grades and stuff like that, or whatnot.
My mom was pretty strict. We're from Belize, so it's like Caribbean culture. So you're
really?
Okay.
Belize.
Yep.
And I was born there, came here. So, most of the folks that come out here, they have, you're in America, so you're going to have the American dream. And my mom went to school and she became a nurse and a director at Cedars-Sinai. Like it's a big hospital out here in California. And she didn't play any games with me. So for a while, I could mess around. And then in high school, she got really serious. She would lock me in a room and be like, okay, you're going to study college courses. If you're going to start slipping in high school, then I'm going to take you up a grade level because obviously you have too much time on your hands. So things got really rough for a while. My mom was really strict when it came to education and things like that. So, the only difference is she let me go outside a lot more than I let my kids go outside. You don't need to go outside. Stay inside today.
I'm forcing. I said that to Morph before. I'm still forcing my children to go outside more to do stuff. I mean, given it's summer here at the moment, and you don't want to be outside. It's horrible. Yesterday afternoon, my kids said they were going to go to the park and play some basketball, and I had just gotten home and I walked in. It's nice. It's a nice temperature. The air conditioning's going. Like it's comfortable in here. And they're like, yeah, we're going to the park. And I'm like,
oh wow.
I'm going to the shop. Do you want me to drive you down to the park at least? And they said, no, it's fine. Like the youngest is like, no, I want to walk. And my oldest is like, wow, yes, I want to be in the car. Like if we're going to go, please walk. She just walked from the bus home, so she knew what it was like. And I made my youngest, I'm like, go stand outside for a couple of minutes. Like go feel what it's like outside, then come back in and tell me if you want to lift to the park or not. And she just put her head out the door. I'm like, no, stand outside, close the door because the aircon's on. I don't want it going outside. Go stand outside, then come back in. And she walks in and goes, yeah, I'd like a drive. Like, like I said, at the moment, I want them outside more often, but summer's such a killer here. So we don't have the pool like we did at the last house, so now I'm going to take them somewhere to cool off, etc. But the social side of things, I guess, is, as I said more further, it's different now. It's I feel like I am constantly on my children going, hey, you should message your friends, see what they're doing, go see if you want to have a friend come over, see if they want to go to the park, maybe you want to go to a friend's house, like. And then when it comes to school holidays here, because our holidays are different to yours, school terms are 10 weeks at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've got 3 2-week holidays. So one around the first quarter, middle of the year, September. And then in December, they'll have a 6 or 8 week holiday, something like that. It comes to these holidays that's approaching on us. My kids would probably just sit in their room the whole time at the moment. And I'm like, no, like, what about, you got to be talking to your friends. You got to be doing something with your friends. Like growing up as a kid, I knew my parents wouldn't see me for the 6 weeks. Like, my mum never saw me. I was gone. Not even my brothers.
Right.
Like, I'm the oldest of all these children. And they didn't even get to see me. Like, I didn't see most of them growing up because I was like, see you later. I'm off. Go stay at my friend's house for a few weeks at a time as a kid. Like,
no, that's the one thing we couldn't do. Caribbean culture, you don't sleep over anybody's house.
yeah, right.
Like,
Really?
that is a no. Can't. Nope. That's not happening. I didn't have sleepovers until I was like 16. A friend got to stay here. I still couldn't go to his house.
Yeah, right. So
It's not possible.
Younger child, we grew up in a city. And then when I got to high school, my parents moved us out of town. So they were rural. And there was no public transport out there on a weekend. So I couldn't go anywhere. So if I was going there at home on a Friday, that meant I was there till Monday. Like, I wasn't seeing anyone till Monday because my parents didn't want to drive, 40 minutes each way just for me to get a social interaction for a day. So I made that commitment.
Enjoy yourself.
Yeah, I made that commitment on a Friday. Like, I'm packing my bags. See you later. I pretty much became. I think one of my close friends, his parents actually didn't even care if I showed up if he wasn't there. It's like, if you just need a place to stay, Josh, it's fine. You can just come over. You know the key. You just let yourself in, crash on the couch, and then that's through high school. And I could go out, see some friends through the day, and then come back there and stay there if he wasn't.
Yeah,
my mind went to a horrible place, and I won't say it here. But like not horrible as in bad, but like you always see certain corns start that way, like stepmom corns or something.
No, that's probably on Steam too. That game.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry,
probably.
guys.
I was pretty much the same. By the time I was 15. 16. As soon as I got my license, like a month after I turned 16, I was a ghost in the house. Like, I just disappeared, and I was allowed to do literally anything I wanted to do, which was terrible because I made some bad choices. But I think that's going to come back and haunt my kids.
Yeah,
because I'm like, I think of all of the things that I did, and I'm projecting that on them, and I'm like, what if you make the same choices? That, like, I feel like I'm lucky to be alive half the time. I'm like, you guys might not be lucky.
You ain't getting away with what I got away with.
Same.
I honestly don't think I've said it multiple times on this. I know it's just going to all come from my son. Anything that I've put in place that's going to test the ability of anything is all going to come from my son. The daughters, I really am not worried about them in the slightest. I know my son is going to be the one, the problem, I guess. And I can't say anything because he's just taken after me. So,
how old's your son?
12.
12.
But he's already, but he's 11.
How old are your kids, by the way?
I have my son's 11 and my daughter's 6.
Okay.
Yeah, so my son's just got into basketball. That's a whole new thing there. Ugh.
Yeah.
I said it in high school because we're doing a career thing at the moment. I'm like, so what are you thinking you want to do when you get older? And he's like, play basketball. I'm like, dude, you just started basketball. This is the first time you're playing competitive sports. You've just started. You've only been doing it for 2 months. Let's not set the expectation that high right now, because if
so, talking to careers and stuff, right? Something that is a career that wasn't when we were growing up is being a professional YouTuber or a professional streamer or a gamer.
Right.
Do you think those are viable careers that you would mind your children dabbling in?
I feel like those types of careers are possibilities, but they're like any of these other careers out there, like being a basketball player, football player, a rapper, a singer. I think there's only a handful of people that ever make it, right? It's like
Yeah.
like winning the lotto to me is how I see it. So I think with hard work and the right timing, it's a possibility. And I originally started my Twitch channel to stream with my son because he's such a sweaty gamer. He's really, really good at games, and that's just not me saying that as a dad. He often gets banned and booted because he's just so good. I don't know what it is about his eye, but he can actually play. And I thought it'd be good to kind of expose him to this. And I don't know where his future leads. If he wants to pursue something in that, I'm willing to go there with him, but also set the expectation like not everybody makes it, man. And you have to have some other interests and some other career paths that you want to pursue, because this is like the lotto. You may not make it no matter how bad you want it.
So go on its career path, actually, because I sent Morph a picture of it the other day. We went to one of my daughter's new high school that she starts next year.
Uh-huh.
And she's the first child going to this high school. The eldest goes to another. My son goes to another one. So never been to this school. Walking around, getting a tour of it. And we go into one room. It's got 3D printers, laser printers, etc. That type of stuff. Lots of computers, like lots of cool stuff to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go 2 classrooms down and he opens up the door. And it's eSports as a class in high school. So they take, so this room had 2 walls either side, just gaming computers, monitor, big TV above, so like the teacher could see what they're playing without looking over their shoulder easily. There was projectors on one side of the room for other things, switches on the other. They do Rocket League, League of Legends, Dota, and as a class. But they're not just learning. They're not learning streaming as such. They're learning the esports side of things, but also the commentary side of things. And they can study that from the start of high school and major in it through the end of high school. And the class is small. But that's interesting. Like I've never seen it before. Like how does they even had a room next to that they called the green room where they could go in there and do creative space. And I remember like bumping on my daughter going, hey, you don't need that. I've got that in the garage. I do have my whole green space set up over here. But it was interesting seeing the fact that this is a serious class. It wasn't something. This was a dead serious thing. They do competitions. You got to learn about the online commentary, social media, managing, team managing. Like they put in a giant list of where taking the esports class could take you in career for the future. And I thought that was really cool. Like that's just adapting to the future.
Yep.
Yeah. There's a lot of changes over the years. You know, when even 3 or so years ago, when I got into this, people over 40 were it was a very small percentage, but I feel like it's growing. And like I just got to think, why do you think that is? And I don't feel like I'm such an outcast anymore. Just 3 years later, I don't feel like I'm such an outcast because I'm over 40 anymore.
Okay. Oh, okay. I just
We're
googled
cool
something. I've just googled something. There is actually an Australian high school esports national competition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm not surprised. My friends' kids would play on an esports team, and I would watch them on Twitch. And so it was Rocket League specifically that they were playing. So totally familiar with that. Like high school students playing professional Rocket League and other sports on Twitch, and then them kind of airing it, which is really neat.
Yeah.
And then to answer your question more, why are so many people over 40 kind of getting into streaming? I don't know. I think we have a lot to share, and we're in better shape. We have I don't know, experience behind us, and people actually care about some of the shit that we have to say. Money, we have disposable income, but
we could spend it on extravagant setups.
When you started streaming, you were educating a lot of people, right? And people needed that type of it. I feel like there's something that we as older gentlemen or older people have to offer that some of the young kids just don't know yet. So they can talk about all the riz they got, but you want the real riz, come take a look at some of the older guys, right? Or older people that are in this space. And I think we do a good job at kind of conveying some of our experience, a bunch of different things that we're able to kind of speak to, and our careers lend to it, our life experience, our relations. Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. Can you hear that?
You want to know what that noise is? Then come back for part 2 tomorrow.
You've been listening to Dad Mode. Our passion is navigating this wild journey of parenthood and modern life. From balancing family time to managing your career and still squeezing in some gaming and content creation. And no matter what the women say, they will never be able to pry the controller out of our cold, dead hands. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, find us on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube at Dad Mode Podcast. And we can be found on every podcast site at Dad Mode Podcast. Y'all be cool. See you next time.